So what we'll be talking about is a community benefit, cultural benefit, cash benefit, lessons learned, and then we'll show you our video. Our vision was to develop a model that would provide support to the local Friendship House Elders, a local charity working year-round to fundraise for the BC Annual Elders Gathering. In order to do this, we tried a few early experiments, attended meetings with key partners, received support, organized events, and executed the plan by mobilizing volunteers.
We connected with a lot of different community structures in town. The biggest success with our project was networking and getting the message out. Everyone we spoke with said they needed more time to make a real impact on this project. So basically, what happened is we snowballed this project, and everybody's already talking about what we're going to do next year. Because everybody was pulling favors and things weren't really fitting into place with everything that we tried. So yeah, we really got this message out, and people were like just really thrilled with the idea of connecting youth to elders, and it kind of sparked a lot of people with a lot of different ideas. So we planted seeds basically, and what we ended up doing with the whole project is we offered a free service to the public using a network of volunteers and community outreach programs such as the Friendship House. Everything was done voluntarily, all for the benefit of the elders and spreading that message. We connected with local resources and were able to muster together a group of people who normally don't partner with one another. Normally they're competing against the same funding, and we kind of went to each of these people and had meetings with them, and we're like, well, why don't we just come together and support everybody with this cause and really just pull from the same thing for the greater good of everybody. So we changed minds and their ideas about what we should be doing in this town. We linked several different groups together for the greater good, one important goal, to give back. So that's kind of what we did. Do you want to talk about?
Yeah. So, shedding light on the topic was really our main focus, and what I guess many of the people talked about young people and how they get lost and how they're kind of disconnected. A lot of them are in their iPads and iPods a lot of the time, and that's how they connect with people. And we wanted to really show that as Native people we connect face-to-face wise, and the way that things progressed, I think it was an important lesson to us in team dynamics, and I think a lot of the credit goes to Fern and Nikita for pulling this all together and controlling the resources that needed to be pulled together in order to do this. And we found, I think we the seeds that Nikita has planted will develop for further CFest to come.
I think the biggest thing too, Debbie Layton, we met with her, and she's the principal. She's the principal of the First Nation sector here in town. We met with her, and we met with a couple of other big companies in town, and we asked for donations. We didn't actually really sell anything. And everyone wanted to contribute, but it was just within the time that we couldn't do it, so everybody's talking about that next year. And Debbie said the biggest thing, we're asking for donations from people who are already struggling. So that was like the biggest eye-opener, I guess, was understanding who we were asking money from and what we were asking it for. To get everybody on board with that was a huge learning process in terms of selling our idea. That's kind of what we did. We didn't really sell anything, and that was just a result of the fail fast. We tried a lot of things and we pulled a lot of strings. We had 2 people drop out of our team, and they had with them. We had ideas with them, like we were gonna sell food, and we pulled some strings, and we got the food permit for CFest. And she dropped out, so we didn't sell any food because that was her. She was the key to that, basically. And then Natalie was supposed to gather raffling items, and that kind of fell through because she dropped out. So I mean, we had some setbacks with the way people were pulling together, people dropping out. So we just kind of went with it and really networked through it, and that was the biggest thing. So cash benefit. We couldn't figure out how to attach this, and I'll let Kian talk about it because I don't understand it.
Okay, so this is just the basic overview of the cash flow of our enterprise. And the first side of it is the income statement, and if you move it over a bit, Shanky, to the left, yeah, you'll see the headings. Okay, there. So the top part is what we made in painting, face painting, all different kinds, and paint raffle, or the sketch, the print. And then there was donations. We did, and the donations was from.
It was the North Coast Ceremonial Dance Group. They did a blanket dance for us, and everybody kind of pulled favors and squeezed us into different events during Seafest. But I mean, had it been a week earlier, we could have actually been in the brochure and really made an impact on that. So yeah, it was kind of just pulling together all my friends and being like, hey, help us out. So this is a result of just calling on friends. And the print, that's a day and a half worth of selling tickets, making $400. So I mean, yeah, people really came together for us.
And then the second sheet there is just our balance statement, and what we ended up profiting completely was $94.66 minus our expenses and the loan.
Yeah, without even selling anything, so it's kind of cool. I thought breaking even was definitely a success and setting it up for the future.
So this is
Yeah, there's a lot of hours unaccounted for there, and the volunteers, especially the ones that were doing face painting, and they did an excellent job. I think people were kind of surprised that we were able to get an event into the Seafest on short notice like that. And we saw a lot of smiling faces, so.
Yeah, I agree. That was the biggest thing that we did was pull together the community and then brought them all to a common understanding on this cause and organizing an event that will carry on from this year to the next year to hopefully all the Seafest to come.
Yeah, and everybody kind of just pulled favors. Like we didn't have to pay for a table, we didn't have to pay for this, we didn't have to pay for that. We got some free things from some companies, and then we donated all the resources that we ended up purchasing to the Friendship House so that they could further progress that way. So it's kind of like shining a light into a dark space that really doesn't get a lot of attention, and just opening it up and inspiring everybody and kickstarting them into really seeing the potential of what you can do for each other. So yeah, it was a huge thing.
Some of the reflections, the community, they appreciated the contribution to their community, acknowledging their work, so we didn't come in as the experts saying, oh, we're here to solve your problems. I thought that was key, especially with the elders. That was one of the big lessons learned for me. We actually were there to learn from the elders. They have a really solid business model already for fundraising. So the community partners that we engaged with, as you've heard from the team here, is that they want to be able to do this again next year. It was the first time traditional dancers were part of the waterfront activities. So there wasn't a great turnout there, but it's one of the reasons or benefits culturally and community-wise was to profile the youth, to give them an opportunity to demonstrate their skills. So I believe that we achieved our goal in that we put an idea out there, a concept that can become sustainable because the community partners all saw the value of it. And it's like a succession planning model where the youth begin to develop the knowledge that the elders already model. And you'll see some of the video we're working to bridge that generation gap.
Yeah, and a lot of people thanked us too. Parents thanked us, the elders thanked us. The North Coast Ceremonial Dance Group, everybody was just like, you opened my eyes to this possibility, and thank you for painting my kid's face for free and providing this service. And everybody sees that, and when people see you out in the community volunteering like that, you're gonna get it all back. It's just good karma going out, and it just recycles. So I mean, as much as you're asking for people's hard-earned money to buy your products, you gotta give that back, and you can't just take all the time. And that was, that's like the first step, I think, into starting a business where people will actually see who you are, and you gotta kind of sell yourself. That's what we keep hearing from all these presenters, you gotta sell yourself. It doesn't matter what you're selling, just, it's yourself, it's who you are personally, and how you're gonna relate and give back to the community. And I will go to the video.
Start it.